All right, let's talk about notebooks for a little bit. You're going to need a notebook for this class. It can be a spiral notebook. It can be loose leaf in a 3-ring binder. It can even be those composition notebooks, but you need a notebook. The first thing you're going to do is set up a table of contents in the very first page. Then you want to label it with your unit, okay? And then the first lesson in the unit. And in Edgenuity, they have it'll say the unit and then the lesson name. So the first lesson in this unit is Sugar Saved the World, Author's Purpose. The second lesson is Sugar Saved the World, Central Ideas, okay? So you're gonna list the lessons. Then when you get started on your notes, you'll start with the first one, Unit 1, the name, and then you're gonna give a page number, okay? The great thing about Edgenuity for most lessons, for most courses, is they have a guided note handout. Now, you need to pay attention. This is very specific information. So, this is what the guided notes looks like. And as you go through the lesson, it gives you the information. It tells you what your lesson goal is, okay? And then it tells you the key, these are your lesson goals, and it tells you what they're going to be. Now, you are not going to just fill out this guided note handout. You are going to copy this information into your notebook. Some of you are thinking, why? Why would I do that if it's already printed for me? And there are a couple of reasons. One, I need to make sure that you're doing your work, that you're going through the lesson, you're getting the answers, you're putting it in your ideas together. Secondly, when you write things down, it helps your brain remember it better. Not that you're going to remember everything you write down, but you would definitely remember more when you write it down. So you can write it down in the format that they use through the guided notes. Like for example, this is a matching one, right? Well, you can just do a list of vocabulary or a list of definitions. They have a question. You don't have to answer the question in your notes. You can just do the key idea. When you get to this part, it talks about informational text. So you would write that in your notes, and then the key ideas under it. What is chronological order? What is cause and effect? So you would write chronological, then you would write the definition. You would write cause and effect, then you would write the definition. And so these guided notes are telling you what you should be writing in your notes. If you have everything on these guided notes in your notebook, in your handwriting, you will be set up for success, because your notes in your handwriting can be used on quizzes when you take them, post-tests when you take them, and your final when you take it. So you will have the perfect tool to be successful in this class, because you will have notes on the key pieces of information. So just like when you're sitting in a math class and they have an overhead projector with definitions, vocabulary, proofs, samples, and you transfer that information from the overhead slideshow to your notes. This is the same thing. You're using those guided notes and you're transferring that information in your handwriting into your notebook in an organized fashion. Now, do you have to stick to this script? No, you can absolutely add more information to it, but this is the minimum that you should have in each section in your notes. Some lessons are longer than others. There's a lot of white space on this handout, so that tells you that you're not going to have 8 pages of notes per lesson. There's a lot of space here, and you condense it. It might be 3 or 4 pages of notes per lesson, depending on how big or how small that you write, okay? And then as you get through to the end, it poses a question to you. And the reason this question is posed is because it relates back to the objective or the main focus that was presented at the beginning of the lesson. So, do I expect you to answer that question in your notes? Probably not. But if you can answer it, then you know you have learned what you were supposed to learn. You have mastered the objective for that lesson. So, I will be doing notebook checks throughout the quarter, the semester. Just make sure that you're on track with your notes. I will be making sure that you cover the information in each section of guided notes, and that it's your handwriting and that it's not somebody else's work. So work with integrity, whether you're working from home or in the classroom. Make sure that it's your work, it's your way of organizing the information in your notebook. And last but not least, the notebook is 5% of your class grade. So the better notes you have, the better prepared you are for the class, and you get a better grade.